the perspective that I bring to the boardroom is that of the CEO that has been involved in these acquisitions. I have seen where things fell down. I have seen areas that I should have paid more attention to. So I asked some really sort of pointed questions, and I focus on areas that I think sometimes get glossed over because people want the acquisition to work so desperately. I also want to make I want management to be very clear with me on what the story of the acquisition is, because once the papers get signed, it's really often that the story changes at that point in time. So, let's get very clear on why we're acquiring this company. What is it bringing to our company? What do we not have currently that we want this company to come in and give us in our current company? So again, that story's got to be extremely clear. And then obviously, as Winnie had mentioned, doing the analysis, looking at the risks, like really focusing, running through those filters to make sure that you are approaching this objectively. It's not just something that everyone fell in love with and they're gonna make it work no matter what. Because I have been on the divestiture side of things, and it is a very painful experience. Areas that I bring into the boardroom, having had the CEO experience of acquisitions. Questions that I like to focus on or that I ask are, number one, the integration plan. What is the integration plan? That's something that doesn't get as much attention as I think it needs. I like to see that people have thought through, for example, like what needs to be addressed right away. Financial systems, IT systems need to be integrated immediately. HR, not necessarily as quickly. So I like to see that management is thinking through that. Another question that I really focus on is what type of due diligence was conducted on the acquisition, because in the due diligence process, you're going to come across all the risks that you're assuming. What were those risks? And, how did we handle the risks that we are assuming? I've been involved in some acquisitions that came with some significant risk, especially on the environmental side. So I really focus on that because, again, it's that idea of falling in love. Sometimes you may not pay as much attention to the risks that are going on. And then another important thing I always try to focus on is how long is management staying on after the acquisition and what's incentivizing them to stay on. So those are the areas in my experience where I've noticed that a stronger focus would be helpful as a board member, because those are areas that I noticed as a CEO that sometimes didn't get the same attention or enough attention as would have been warranted.